Mills, and after Mr. Mills, Mr. Masnada. Mr. Mills.
My name is John Mills. I'm here on behalf of a number of upstream Delta watershed agencies. First, I want to thank the staff for all of the time they've spent with us, listening to all of our concerns and offering explanations. It's been very helpful. I do want to speak specifically to the comments of Mr. Becerra, Ms. Goldsmith, and Mr. Elijah, and associate myself with those comments in their entirety. I want to point out that for agencies that are in the Delta watershed, where there is no groundwater basin, you're on fractured granitic formations, you had no reliable groundwater supply. We tried to do desal, but the price of trucking in salt was exorbitant. So we've realized that we're 100% dependent on the Delta watershed. We will always be 100% dependent on the Delta watershed. The area of origin statutes actually guarantee us a future supply with reasonable and beneficial use of water. The state has filings on many rivers to allow us to do that, and we intend on doing that in some of the upstream areas. We will then be increasing the amount of water. Theoretically, you can't go above 100%, but we will be taking more water out of the Delta watershed, and that would be under an area of origin filing. I think that the staff explanations today, both those in here and Martha also helping me outside to understand this, has been very helpful, and I don't think we're that far apart on some of this as much as we are on some of our fears when we read this. The baseline, if I could suggest, we all have established baselines that were developed in the 20 by 20 process and SBX 77. I happen to sit on the Urban Stakeholder Advisory Committee to DWR, and if we could use those baselines by region, because they are called out by region in SBX 77 and the DWR 20 by 20 plan, that would be very helpful, because we already have one baseline and starting another one would be somewhat confusing. I think we should be, as a program and good policy, I think we should try to be seeking the most efficient use of water throughout the hydrologic cycle, which is what is anticipated and called for in the state's own water plan. It goes far beyond the examples that were given here. It includes the improved use of water throughout the hydrologic cycle in our neck of the woods, as it were. That includes forest health. That includes watershed restoration. And that includes sustainable management practices on the land. All of those things improve the efficiency of the Delta ecosystem. We call it the Sierra Nevada ecosystem upstream, as does the federal government. But I want to point out that there is much more than we can do than the examples that are given here. And in a partnership arrangement, a proactive arrangement of resource management, we can do a lot better than we're doing now. So I want to point out that this need not be regulatory in nature. We can use incentives to do a lot more than we're doing. We also have a federal partner in the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service who works with us very closely on many of our IRWM plans. Finally, I want to express our willingness to work with the staff and the council on improving this policy and ending up with a plan that's not only workable within the narrow confines of covered action, but begins to approach the vision outlined in WRP1 and 85021 about a more efficient approach in using water resources throughout the state. Thank you.
Thank you very much.